I first learned about USARA in 2012 when Mary Jo came and told her story while I was in drug court.
I learned about USARA by coming on a field trip when I was in a treatment center.
I first learned about USARA when I was looking for a place to hold a support group meeting for women in recovery.
My first impression when I met the people from USARA was great. I was really excited about the fact that they were making a difference. I could see in the recovery community how they were helping people, and I wanted to be a part of that.
I didn't particularly think there was anything special about my story or about my recovery or me as an individual, but from the moment that I came here, I was accepted and I felt like I belonged here. And they told me that I belonged here, they told me that I was needed here, and they asked me to stay.
Being a woman in long-term recovery, USARA kind of brought me full circle in my recovery, so to speak, because it wasn't about keeping your recovery to yourself. It was about sharing your story and celebrating it, celebrating your recovery, so you can share your story to help other people who may be struggling. It's not a dark, dirty secret. It's something that can be overcome.
So one of the main objectives of USARA is to provide services for those seeking recovery and for those looking to sustain long-term recovery.
So USARA, as a recovery community organization, is led by people in recovery. That's part of our requirement, is that people who have a lived experience in addiction recovery are a part of the organization, from our board members to our staff to the volunteers that support our mission to bring about awareness of addiction recovery, reduce the negative stigma that oftentimes happens in communities where they don't understand addiction. So what we do is we bring an authentic voice to the cause.
One of the wonderful things about USARA was that no matter where you came from, who you were, you could walk in the door and you immediately got support, and people really supported you in your recovery. That is the best thing about USARA, is the fact that no matter what walk of life you come from, they're willing to embrace you and they're willing to support you and they're willing to advocate for you. And that has been really missing in the community.
The more I got to know about USARA, the more intrigued I was. And I think that what drew me in was just the way that the events grew, the people and the advocating, the capital, all the things that USARA were doing seemed really personal to me.
My first impression was I was in disbelief. For the first time, I stepped outside my box and I came here, and I was introduced to people who were on the same mission as me, people who weren't ashamed of their past and they weren't afraid to tell anybody.
My favorite thing is the people. You know, every time you go there, there's a big hug, a friendly smile, and people who understand what you're going through. They care, and they will do everything in their power to help you.
You get to a point where all of a sudden you'll see that person's eyes light up again, and it's reigniting their spirit and helping them heal.
The main thing I would say to someone who's never been to USARA is not to wait. I waited too long. I waited 3 years, and I don't even call that time part of my recovery. It's part of my clean time, but my recovery didn't really start until I started to come here and realize that I could celebrate my life. I didn't just have to survive every day without putting poison into my body. And I don't know why I waited. I don't know what I was scared of. I just know that I could have started things a lot sooner. So I would encourage people that have heard of USARA, want a community, want to be a part of something, they don't want to do it alone anymore, to come down and just see what it's all about.